Hey, listen,
Listen, listen.
listen. Welcome to Listen with Tania and Win on a Tuesday, April 20th. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. This is it's a monumental day.
Whew, it's a
It
lot on
is.
a Tuesday. It's a
It's
lot on a
a lot,
Tuesday.
lot going on a Tuesday. Thank you for taking the time to put us in your ears and in your face. We appreciate it. If you haven't already, be sure to like our Facebook page. Make sure you light up those notifications so you know when we go live and you know when we put a post out there. Pretty soon we'll have another special guest. So we're going to be posting throughout the week coming. So you don't want to miss any of that. So be sure to make sure your notifications are turned on. And if you're just watching us for the first time, when you want to let them know who we are.
It's the truth. If you don't know who we are, you surely will learn soon. My name is Wynn Briscoe, and I am the sister cousin to Tania.
What's up? Tania Briscoe Easterling here, and we're just excited that you decided to join us today. So, just a reminder, this is episode 7. When episode 7, this is episode 7 today.
Amazing. How did we get this far?
I don't
Yeah,
know. Without
this is
getting
so
cut off, look, without
right.
getting cut off or shut down.
It's true. It's true. So grateful for the viewers and everyone just showing your love. You're gonna really love this show if you haven't seen the prior episodes. So just thank you for taking the time to spend your evening with us, or if you're watching it on the replay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And speaking of prior episodes, you can still watch all of them on a replay on our Facebook page. So we still have those up. You can go back, watch the last 6 episodes so you can get caught up. And because last week was on freedom, and we had our first
Whew.
amazing fire. If I could
Wow.
do fire emojis on the screen, I would. Fire. Awesome guest. This is Kimberly Dennis. And what did you think of last week, Win?
Whew.
What was the
Shout
topic?
out,
What was
shout
the
out to
topic?
Kim and one of our favorite topics of freedom. So thank you so much. You came on and blessed us. And I just love how it was completely orchestrated, how she became our guest
Right.
within a 24-hour turnaround time, and how the topic just flowed. We hadn't even discussed anything together. But when you watch it back, you will just think we planned it all. And that's just how God works. So it was a great episode. Definitely go back and check out episode 6.
Yeah, it was great. So today, y'all, today, what's our topic today, Win? Where are we headed?
Ooh, well, I love today. Our topic today is definitely going to be the gumbo recap. It's that flashback of the first 6 episodes, which just saying it is amazing to think that we are on episode 7 tonight, but the first 6 episodes, and we're giving you the highlights so that if you maybe don't have time to dedicate and go back and watch the prior 6, no worries. Tonight, we're going to give you kind of the best of the best and review what we felt was our favorites, some of the points of discussion, some of the things that really should be reiterated, but definitely take some of these things, and what you do like, go back and check those episodes out. So that's
Yeah,
today.
yeah, fire. So let's get started. So let's talk about our God moment for the week. So each week, Win and I can only pick one thing that we get to celebrate
Whew.
what God has done. So you want to go first?
You go first. I always go first on my God moments.
Oh man, narrowing it down to just one thing. Mm, okay. So I'm gonna just call a thing because it's part of the reason why I'm smiling so hard right now. But hearing that verdict,
Ooh.
hearing that verdict, y'all. just now. And for those that don't know yet or aren't watching news or anything that's going on in the world, um, the former police officer was just found guilty on all three counts in Minnesota. And just hearing that blessed me today.
Wow.
I don't celebrate someone being guilty. It's not what
Right.
I'm saying, but I thank God that God gave that man justice
Mm.
in death, some justice, right? In his family, some justice.
And for those who may not know what you're referring to, she's referring to George Floyd, if you are not aware, right? Or maybe, or in a different part of the world, because we can't
Right,
assume also that you may know or follow American politics and justice. So,
right.
Tania, definitely give a little backstory on that so that it makes sense to those who might not have the
Yeah,
backstory.
yeah. Yeah, so May 25th, 2020, George Floyd was involved in I don't even want to call it an altercation. Um, he was involved with the police, wherein at the end of the altercation, he ended up with now a former police officer, that ended up having his knee on his neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. And subsequently lost his life because of that.
Yeah.
And so that police officer was fired and he was put on trial, and the jury just returned their verdict 30 minutes before we came on this show today. 30 minutes before coming on the air, which in this country, just
Mhm.
being real, is unprecedented.
Right. Right.
It's unprecedented. I don't know how many of us honestly expected that verdict to be the way it came, but God. So that would have to be my God moment.
And that's major. Like, there's nothing that I can even remotely even speak of that could articulate, and so prayers are still out to George's family,
Yeah,
and friends and his support system. So, we just hope that this country sees justice on all fronts. So, our support from our show and to their family, and to the family of other victims who, some are nameless that weren't caught on video. So, definitely want to give our hearts to those families that have suffered at the hands of injustice in this country.
yeah, yeah. That was that was good. That was true. Yeah,
Yeah.
because there are some still waiting for
Mhm.
justice
Right.
in this country. So yeah, much love, much prayer, to all of those. So if you have a God moment that you want to celebrate, we would love to hear it today. Post it up in the comments, and we'll be happy to share it and celebrate with you today. And we'll even have a little bit time here later on, a little
Mhm.
bit later in the show, where it'll be dedicated to testimony time. We call it Testimony Tuesdays. So let's get started into our today's trending topic,
Ooh,
being that flashback gumbo.
it's true. It is true.
So, oh man, I what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna post the link, you guys, to the videos, just so that you have access to that link really quick if you want to share it with anybody else. Um, by all means do so. But let's talk about episode one, when our first episode.
Wow, that was our About Us, talking about who we are, our journey, in obedience, basically how the show even manifested.
Right,
So, just how we got here, right? This is our show one recap of Meet Tania and Meet Win.
right,
It was a very interesting show. It was almost a little bit of gumbo within itself. But it was to give you a basis of who we are, right? And to get to know us, our personalities, and that we're sister cousins, our dads are identical twins, and We have a lot of their mannerisms. We really, if you see us together with our dads, we are them, and a little bit in the female form, a little funnier,
With a
but
lot more hair. A lot more hair.
that's true too. That's true too. So the get to know portion of who we are definitely a lot like our dads, but I would say the better, prettier versions of them for sure.
Totally, totally second that.
Agreed.
So in episode one, we also talked about just our journey in obedience, that O word. Whew. So
Mm.
do either one of us really have a desire to be in front of a camera live? No, 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 no.
No.
And in case you didn't hear me, no, we don't.
And
Uh,
I'm in front of the camera live every day for work. So I love speaking to audiences, but personally sharing my story, no. No. I can be a great guest speaker and talk on any specific topic.
yeah.
Perfect. I do that all the time. Public
Oh, yeah.
speaking, I love. But
Mhm.
sharing with you my personal journey over the last 20 years of my life, no, ma'am.
No.
That has been the journey of obedience, as you call it. And it's still a work in progress for sure.
Daily, daily. So
Mhm.
that's what this is. That's what you're watching. That's what all these episodes are about.
Mhm.
It's just being obedient to what God has told us to do. One of the many things He's told the two of us to do in this season. And it has been a blessing on blessing. We're so thankful when we hear the feedback and when we hear from people when they comment about how much of a blessing the show has been thus far. We're like, okay, well, we're just doing what God told us to do. We're glad you're being blessed. But we firmly believe in that scripture of obedience is better than sacrifice. So we didn't want the sacrifice hammer coming down. So
I mean, I think
we're
I'm
doing
still yet getting to that stage of believing that obedience is better than sacrifice, but I'm trusting in this process
it.
at this juncture to know that it is true. But definitely a work in progress. We all are. So please don't ever feel that we have arrived when it comes to obedience. Again, this show is just one of the many things that God has instructed that we do, being real and relevant and coming on every Tuesday to just share our stories,
Mhm.
our hearts, and to be an inspiration to you. So thank
Mhm.
you for joining us.
Yeah, and if you are in a season of obedience, which I don't know when we're never not in a season of obedience, but if there's something God has called you to be doing in this season, and you're like, that
Mm.
is so outside of my comfort zone, let us know about it. Post it in the comments. We would love to cheer you on. We love to support you. We know what it looks like. We know it looks crazy. We know
Because
it.
we're living it. We're living it right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we would love to hear from you, and definitely connect with us. Share your comments. Share our post that we're on,
Yeah.
and definitely give us your comments. We would love to be able to hear from you on your obedience journey,
Yeah.
or if maybe you're not obedient, that too. Maybe that's something we can. I don't know. Is that something we could, possibly help you with? We could possibly help you with that if this is maybe something you're supposed to be doing and you haven't done,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I know the disobedience side real well, unfortunately. I know that delayed obedience. I know it well.
Yeah.
I know it well. It was my Linus blanket for a long time. so so yeah, we love to help you even with that.
Hmm.
Even with that. So episode two hit us right at stimulus or something
Ooh,
like to
well,
call it.
before you
Stimmy
move forward, I want to make sure we
Yes.
comment on our journey in obedience. It's not just the talk show, right? But we
Right.
have books that God has instructed that we write. There's certain journeys that He has instructed that we take. So, if you want to talk a little bit about your book as a recap on one of the things you were instructed to do.
Do I want to talk about my book?
I figured if we're doing a true highlight, we're going to do a true highlight, right? So, for the people who may not know, Tania is a phenomenal author and she has a great devotional that is on her website. And I'm sure she will share that link in
Good.
the comments so that you all can go and be blessed. And I absolutely love her devotional. I love the book on faith that God has instructed that she write based on her journey with her family. And so, yeah, talk about your obedience.
So my obedience in the recent season has been to write a book called Faith That Goes the Distance: Journey of Walking on Water with God, and it is a memoir of my family's faith journey from the East Coast to Texas. It was a literal Abraham and Sarah move of God saying, "It's time to move, and you need to move, and I'll take care of the rest when you get there." So it is a beautiful story of just God and his faithfulness over a 9 year period. Just in 9 years, of course, still here, blessed to be here in beautiful Texas, but wrote it from a 9 year period. So, and that'll be out soon. And I've posted my website and the blog link in the comments because there's a great devotional there that God blessed me to write and win a devotional writing contest for, actually, on faith and believing God for those God-sized dreams that he's placed inside of us. So feel free. Would love for you to check that out and let me know what you think about it when you get the time to read. So when
A great devotional. And I'm biased, but I am. It is a great devotional.
Thank you. Thank you. So when let's talk about your obedience in this season. The book. Tell them about the amazing book.
My God. So my book is called Release, and it is a divinely directed memoir of the last 20 years of my life and my journey. And it has been a adventure. I can tell you that book is going to bless you. And my book is very much like a workbook style. At the end of each message or chapter, there is a great breakout so that you have a journal at the end, a playlist that goes with each message. There's prayers, there's scriptures that go with each message. So it's phenomenal. And it will be out as soon as God allows. It's in final editing, and I'm so excited about that. And to just walk people through the journey of release and the journey of forgiveness and healing and freedom so that they can achieve victory in every area of their life. It's going to be life changing.
Awesome. So excited. I too am extremely biased and I cannot wait for it to be out, and so excited on what God does when we say yes, what he does when we say yes.
I think I
And
said
who
okay.
our
I don't
yes
know that I
blesses.
said yes. I think I was like, okay. Oh, right. Possibly. Maybe. Right. I think I was, I
He
don't know
works
that I
with
said,
that. He works with that.
right?
He works with the okay. Or the all right.
If
Okay.
you say so. That's
He does. He does. So uh really, really excited. And of course we'll be sure to post once both our books are blessed to be released, which will be this year. That's what we're speaking. This
come
year.
on. Right?
Right. So yeah, that was just episode one, just a quick recap on just the importance of obedience and where we've been in the journey of obedience. And yeah, and let us know let us know where you stand with obedience. Like
Mm,
Wednesday, do you struggle with it? Is
right.
is it, are you okay with it? There's some people it's like, that's not my struggle. If God calls me to do something, it's a yes.
I'm telling you,
Let
you're
us
my hero.
know.
You're my heroes.
Yeah, seriously, you need a cape. You need an obedience cape because
If yes,
yeah, that's super. That's a spiritual superpower right there to be able to say yes to everything God says to
woo,
do.
yes. Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, let us
With
know.
the immediacy, right? Not with, as we talk about, procrastination, delayed obedience, hesitation, resistance, slothfulness, a little delay, right? All of that, right?
Right, right. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
we don't want that. We don't want that. But we've been on that side too.
We
We've been
oh,
on that side too. And yes, yes,
mm-hmm.
yeah. So let's ready to talk about week two. Let's give a quick recap. That week
Yeah.
two. So that week two, we talked about finance, y'all, and that was so good. It was so funny. Sorry, I'm still laughing about our that whole segment because there were some
Yes.
parts of that were hilarious. If you didn't get to check out week two on finance,
Right.
we talked about it right as stimulus checks, the third stimulus checks, were starting to hit people's bank accounts, and so we we yeah, we talked about a little everything. So when you want to let them know where we went with the finance segment.
My goodness. So the anyone getting surplus funds basically is what that came from, whether it was a refund or was it a check or just any funds that wasn't a part of your standard income. We talked about that. We talked about what to do with those funds, what people typically do with extra funds, culturally, what people do with extra funds,
Right.
and what we suggest you might want to do with some of your extra funds. So, coming to that from a little financial stewardship, we want to make sure that if you do have some extra funds, coming, that you definitely want to put them in a good place to good use. That was basically the show. We talked a little bit about Dave Ramsey and Financial Peace University. I've been a facilitator for that since 2011, and it's been a life changing, not just for myself, but the people that I've seen walk through that program. And there's some great no cost resources as well. If you're not able to sign up for a class, definitely check out those resources. We'll put them in the comments, but making sure that you are good stewards of your resources, whether they are your reoccurring or if they're things that come in over and above. Just enjoy. We're not saying you can't enjoy your funds, but you know be good stewards, put your money in
Something other than
savings.
crab legs. That's what we say.
Yeah,
That's what she's
pay
trying
down
so
your
hard not
bills.
to say.
We suggested, giving your, if you're a tither and offer person, tithe and offering, do that. If you're a giver of any sort, do that. Giving back to the community, definitely. And savings, always something we encourage. And then when you have, some funds left over, then as Tania said, culturally, some people hit the seafood. Some people, use it for clothing and other things over and above that they might not have had those resources for in their normal budget. But yeah, finance was a pretty fun show to just talk about all the things people are going to be doing with their money. Yeah, go back and watch that and see how often crab legs came up. It was hilarious, but there's a no judgment zone here, not at all. And I was at the beach that week. Remember after that, so
Yes.
I definitely gave mine as a good steward, and definitely put money in savings, paid on some other expenses, and then we bought the red shoes as I promised everyone. The red high heels got purchased, and also crab legs.
Oh Jesus.
So we had seafood. You and I both had seafood that week
We
to
did.
celebrate different things, but
We
nonetheless,
did.
we celebrated.
Yes, yes. And I love I'm a jump right back really quick back into week one recap, just
Oh, I
because
love
of
that
that
obedience
comment
one.
from
Yeah.
Tamika, as I know her as Mama Mika. So
Yes.
hello. And Ola Yvonne, we see you too. Hello.
Yes. Thank you
Um,
all.
who will be our guest next week. And that's all I'm going to say. We're going to talk about that later. Okay.
We're
So,
excited.
yes, Tamika's comment of he's still working on in immediate obedience in me. I'm not where I used to be, but not where I need to be.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am. That's
we
all of us.
all relate to that one.
Join the club. We're giving out T-shirts when you sign up. It's all of us, honey.
T-shirts,
All of us.
mugs. We're gonna have the merch. We're gonna have the merch on this obedience thing. And that's only a slight joke. Like it's actually kind of true.
It's
We are it is in the works. There is
merch is coming.
some obedience merchandise in the works. It's necessary.
Hmm.
Necessary. So yeah, that whole week on finance, that episode on finance was so good. And just so powerful because it's a blessing, right? When God sends provision
Right.
from any resource that he uses. But at the same time, we're back to that obedience of, okay, what are you going to do with it? This is like, I've
Yeah.
handed it to you. I've given you these talents in your hand. Now, what are you going to do with it? You know? So,
I
yeah.
mean, if your natural reflex whenever you get extra funds is to go shopping versus to put it in your savings, you may want to address that. Might want to. You might want to.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You
Yeah.
cannot eat up and buy up everything, and your savings has nothing to show for it. You
Right.
might want to take a pause and make an adjustment in your life. That's
True
just
talk.
a place
Real
of
talk.
love from me.
Real talk.
Absolutely.
And I've
Because
been on that.
when
And I've been on
emergencies
that side of the
happen, right?
coin. So no judgment here, no
Oh
shade.
no, we're
I've been
living
on
this.
that side of the coin. Been on
Yes,
that
yes.
side.
We're living this, right? But if there's an emergency that happens in any area of your life, are you able to go to your nest egg, right? Does it have more than $100 in that nest egg, or are you running to,
Mm.
some form of a debt stream, right, like a credit card, as a dependency to fill the gap for your lack of financial management? So we want to make sure, that you're utilizing your own funds to,
Yeah.
definitely seed your own emergency fund and nest egg, not running to debt sources that are not ever going to really alleviate you because you're in the cycle of a behavior pattern. And to know that finance and financial management is not about how much you make. I know people keep talking about
Right.
they need to get a new job and they need to make more money. It is so not. And the funny story about it is that Tania and I, our grandmother, who was
Yeah.
retired 3 times over, kid you not, always had cash on hand. Anytime someone ran short, they would go to grandma and they would be working W-2 jobs with direct deposits every 2 weeks, going to her to say, can you help me in between pay periods, right? And she would just pull out the cash that you needed. And she had it on hand, honey. I mean, she
Specifically pulling out the cash because
she
that
had cash
that
on
was the
hand.
bank
And
back in the day. That was
I'm
the bank.
like, Grandma, you are retired on Social Security. You have had no major cost of living increase, right? You're
Nope.
getting paid once a month. Let's talk about this, y'all. But she always had resources,
That's right.
disposable cash to be able to bless some of her family members who were irresponsible, if I can say it, with their financial
You just
management.
said it.
Because grandma was a rescuer, right? And
Yes,
at one point I was like, stop
yes, she
being an
was.
enabler, grandma. Like they need to learn how to manage their own direct deposit. You over here with your once a month retirement check, paying
Mhm.
all of your bills and got extra in savings. And how? If y'all know how retirement works, when you leave your job, that's your set income
Right.
forever. And
Right.
so how are you retired 3 times and bailing out people with W-2s who are irresponsible? But I digress. Bless grandma's heart. She did it. And so let's not be those people. Let's be the, as we talk about the lender versus the borrower.
For
Okay.
sure.
So let's make sure we're in a position to be able to bless other people because we have taken care of our own and we have abundance to be able to do that.
So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to check out episode 2
Yeah,
on finances, there was much seriousness, but there was also much laughter in the midst of it. So
absolutely.
check it out. If this pandemic hasn't taught any of us anything,
Whew.
it's that now is the time to be wise with those finances, with that coin. You
Mhm.
cannot afford not to use wisdom and seek God. I said it, seek God on what to do with your finances because nothing is guaranteed. So,
Honey, if you haven't increased your savings and your pantry with your toilet paper and paper towel, I don't know what to tell you. This pandemic has taught you two very valuable things.
yes,
Have you some funds put to the side and
some toilet paper,
get yourself a pantry. Right.
some toilet
Absolutely.
paper.
Put some things to the side.
So, ooh,
I'm just saying, because who wants to run out of either cash or toilet paper?
none of the
There
above. No, thank you.
you go.
So, week 3, y'all, episode 3.
Ooh,
Episode 3, that was on food. So, we went from finances, we went from talking about money to talking about food. And that was also, as all of our episodes seem to be at some point, become wildly entertaining. So today on the recap on food, let's just talk about a good spring cleaning because here we are in the midst of spring. Somewhere in the US, you're experiencing some type of spring, right? Something's going on, even if it is still snowing outside for somebody. But
right.
it's the start of spring. So, what do you have to say about the spring cleaning when it comes to our bodies?
Right, right. So on food, so what I do for spring cleaning, not just in spring, but I encourage you to do a detox. Doing it once a quarter is great. Spring is a good time as a launch pad to be able to do that. And a detox from certain foods, a detox from, meats and heavy things that weigh your system down. And there are quite a few resources that are great. I personally do a smoothie detox and a cleanse, and I do that in the spring, but I also do that sometimes monthly, just as a great way to be able to reset and enjoy a smoothie detox during the week. And then on the weekends, all of the deliciousness that we talked about in the food episode, that's when that goes down. So, yeah, I encourage you to enjoy foods, know that they have their place. But overall, when it comes to food, focus on nutrition. That's going to be your key. And then you really can, you can really enjoy some other things that we love to eat as well. So,
Yeah, we love that. That healthy balance is
yeah,
important. That healthy balance is important. It's okay to get in some calories every once in a while. It's just about not letting those calories control you, right? And so it's okay. It's okay if you have that slice of cake every
hmm,
once in a while. But do you want the whole cake? Maybe not.
yeah,
Maybe not, right? But there's a healthy balance. I love that you talked about the smoothie cleanse. If you're not so much into smoothies or you don't aren't privileged to own a blender or anything of the sort to even make smoothies, there are so many other programs out there. One that I personally love is the Daniel Fast.
hmm,
And the Daniel fast is basically you're on a vegan meal plan, right? So not eating anything that had a face or anything that came from something that had
a
a face.
soul. There you go.
That's just the easiest way to put that. So if you hear a lot of times, a lot of churches and other people do this like at the beginning of the year, at the start of the year, but it doesn't have to be at the beginning of the year. You can do it at any time. Anytime you feel led by God, or just anytime you feel like your body is like, okay, why am I struggling with energy? Why do I feel so run down? Why do I feel so heavy? Sometimes our digestive system, just needs a reset.
Right.
Just needs just needs a reset. And a Daniel fast is a great way to do that because you're only giving your body natural nutrients, right?
Right.
And it's allowing your body time to just get rid of everything that doesn't need to be there, that it doesn't really need, and
And they
giving
go in tandem. They
they
go
do.
really well in tandem because the Daniel fast and what you can eat and cannot eat works perfectly with the smoothie cleanse. So
Mhm.
if you want to mix them up and do them together, great idea, definitely. But definitely to the ladies, I get asked this all the time when it comes to weight, and I've released 160 pounds. By no means am I an expert, but I just know with my body what has worked. And again, contact your physician, let them give you
Yes,
wisdom based on your
please.
body. But you really want to look at, are you eating clean? Are you eating well? Do you have consistent eliminations? I'm not going to go into that, but detoxing. You need to be able to get waste out of your body. So every morning or every other morning, depending on the schedule that I'm on, I'll have a great detox tea that goes phenomenally well with the smoothies, just to make sure that I'm maintaining my system and my body's staying healthy on the inside. So
Yeah.
yeah, it goes great with food. You want to make sure that, if you're going to eat comfort foods, I'll just say that most of the time, comfort foods aren't digesting well in the body. They are typically staying, and you'll know because your waist is typically broader than your chest if you have a predominant diet of comfort foods,
Yeah.
starches, meats, things of that nature.
And we understand because they taste great.
We know. Oh,
The ministry of mac and cheese is real, y'all. It tastes so good. All of
it's
it
true.
tastes so good going down. It really
It
does.
just don't go no further. That's the only problem is that it goes and stops, honey. That's it.
Right.
I'm just keeping it real, right?
It's the
So
truth. It's true. Real talk. So check out, if you haven't had a chance to check out episode 3, um,
yeah,
go over there, check out episode 3 on food. You can still, by the way, you can still post your comments on all of the episodes.
oh
The
sure.
We haven't shut down the chat or the comments thread, so you're welcome to still post your comments. Let us know. Let us
My
know your
favorite
thoughts.
topic during the food, y'all, was the I Got Questions segment. That was my favorite segment during the food
Oh gosh.
episode because Tania and I are foodies, okay? We love music and we love food. And I will tell you, the I Got Questions segment of that episode we were in stitches because we want to know who made everything. When we show up to the gathering, of whatever type it is, right? The first thing
Yeah,
we want to know is who made the potato salad, right? Is that question
always.
typically question number one, right?
Always. Oh,
Um, so we have particulars, and there's certain people in our families that, or certain friends that are designated. This is what we know they're known for. So in that episode, we encourage you to eat from people that you are aware of what they know the cook is their gift.
yeah.
And if they're experimenting or they just learned or maybe it's not their calling. You might want to, I don't know, Tania,
Pass. Just pass.
you're more politically correct.
Pass. Say you're intermittent fasting. I don't know, something. Just yeah, food
Decline.
allergy. Not to
You,
encourage lying,
you
but
might want to pass. You might want to pass. And for those of you that you are those people who like to try new things, we encourage you to do so. Just don't bring them to the gathering. Just don't bring it to the
no,
gathering.
no,
We
no.
encourage you to try new recipes. Bless you. That's
At
the only way we can
home,
find new things.
at
But
home, at home.
yeah, just
Yeah,
whatever you were on the carry, the list, how we have the potluck list, you got assigned, right? Whatever your list item was, do that. And if you have a little trial that you want to that people sample, put in a little container maybe and put it to the side. But that cannot be
no,
brought to the gathering.
no,
And
no.
this is good because right now we're in spring, so we know we're still in the pandemic, and people we know in another month or so are going to start outdoor, you
Yeah,
know,
Memorial Day is right around the corner.
next month. Yes.
Somebody's having a cookout. We already know. Somebody's
Yes. So
having a
don't bring your rendition of potato salad with raisins. Do not put vegetables in your macaroni and cheese.
please no.
Um, when it comes to meats, please cook them appropriately and for them to be done. Okay, as in we don't want to see a pre-flesh color but crispy on the outside. Okay, we
And
don't. So
every recipe you see online,
mhm.
it's not a great recipe.
It's not for you. It's not.
And I'm just gonna say popcorn and mayonnaise don't go together. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna name it.
Food
I'm not
TV
gonna
can
name it. But
absolutely shut all the way down as far as I am concerned. When I saw the popcorn
oh
salad, it started out looking like coleslaw. And when they added the popcorn in,
yes.
have you ever felt like a an emotion inside of yourself just raise up, right? I just thought to myself, self, did she just take perfectly good white cheddar popcorn, one of my favorites,
You
and
might
pour
too.
it into what ultimately was a coleslaw
Oh my
mix
gosh.
to
Yeah.
blend that in? So if you whoever you are out there on Facebook land,
Mm-mm.
um,
Mm-mm.
please, please hear our hearts and to know stop the violence. Please stop. Please, please, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, but keep that at home. Is not something that needs to be brought to the gathering. It's just not. I
No.
cannot do. I can't. You got to pick. Are we doing a vegetable or are we doing snacks? But we can't put the two together. That's what we can't. I love a good veggie chip. They make some great sweet potato chips. Okay, that's fine. That's baked. But
Right. Popcorn is a
coleslaw salad
standalone.
with
Popcorn is a
popcorn.
standalone,
No, ma'am.
you know. And we just trying to help people stay in your lane.
Yes, ma'am.
If your lane is like my lane is baking, I love to
Mhm.
bake. I
Yes.
can cook. I can cook. But my lane, what I love to do is bake. So typically people will ask me, will you bring cookies? Will you bring cake?
That lemon pound
Whatever.
cake that you make is the truth,
Well,
right?
thank
So,
you. Yes, but that's my lane. So I own it. Do I try to bring something else that's not my lane? No,
right.
I do not. And I'm not, my feelings aren't even offended. It's like, this is what I do. This is my lane. I rock it. Yeah, we're gonna stick with the
It,
lemon pound cake and
whatever you
whatever
do,
else.
do it well. The scriptures say, whatever you do, do it unto God. So if you can't make your chicken unto God, the scripture even say, don't
I
even do it.
mean,
Don't
is
even
he
do it.
pleased? Is he pleased? Because I know he wasn't pleased about that popcorn with the mayonnaise. I know he
Oh
wasn't pleased.
my goodness.
I
Oh,
know he was not
it
pleased.
was an abomination. It was no. So please go back and see
Yes,
the
he
food
bet.
episode and learn some of our favorites, learn some of the things that we actually don't prefer to eat. That was a good little segue in there
Mm,
too. So
mm.
it was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. So that was episode 3. That was on food. And so, ooh, then we got a little heavy, y'all. We got a little heavy
Ooh,
with episode 4.
a little heavy.
A little, just a little. Episode heavy was on faith.
A little heavy. A whole lot of heavy.
That was on faith.
Ooh.
And whew, okay, so let's do it. Let's just do the thing. Let's
Mm.
have a faith checkup. So
Mm.
let us know. Post it in the comments. Where are you at on your faith right now? Is it strong? Is it teetering? You know, is it minuscule? I'm gonna use some big words. Is it minuscule or is it just non existent? Let us know where you are in your faith right now. There is so much that has gone on just in the past year alone,
Right.
that has required faith in God from all of us, right? Day to day. sometimes minute by minute, depending on what's going on, right? But ooh, yeah, yeah, that faith episode, if you haven't had a chance to go back there, I personally encourage you and invite you to check out
That was a
episode
phenomenal
4.
episode.
There
Oh my
was
goodness.
there were so many nuggets in that. So
Mm,
many. It's not even possible for Winnie and I to sit here and just pull just one. Yes, Yvette, your faith is healing.
mm,
Yes,
mm. So good.
yes. That broken faith is real. That broken faith is real. I have personally experienced it,
Mm,
and it's real. And that is a daily process, day to day, with God's grace, right?
right.
Um, and I love that Yvonne said God is always growing me. Sometimes it's exciting. Um, yeah, yeah, sure. Sometimes it's exciting. Sometimes it's exciting.
Honey.
Sometimes though,
Sometimes we smell fishy. And if you don't know what that reference is, go back and watch that episode. Because
mhm,
that's what happens
yes,
when your
yeah,
faith is not strong and you feel like you just can't be obedient.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. It is. Sometimes it is just genuinely hard. You were
Right.
spot on with that, Yvonne. Um, but if there's anything we could do in our own strength, then we wouldn't need God for it.
Then there's no point in faith because that's not what faith is.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah. So we also talked about the marriage between faith and our obedience. Don't give that exhale.
You could, you heard it. I felt it.
Oh man,
We're living it, right?
daily,
Marriage between obedience and faith.
daily,
To
right?
just do whatever God has told us to do and to have the faith and know that we have to just trust his process, even though it may not make sense. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter about whether or not it makes sense or whether or not we can see what we feel we need to see in order to be obedient. As
Mm,
we always say sometimes on the show, irregardless, right?
yes.
It does not matter. It
Yes.
doesn't matter. It's about what did God say, right? Do you have the faith to trust him and to do what he has instructed? That's the key. We have faith in so many things, I think, Tania. Like we have faith when we get in the car and we press the brakes that the car is going to stop, right? Before the pandemic, we had the faith of getting on a plane and the pilot was going to get us to where we needed to go, right? The plane was going to function. We were going to land,
Right.
be safe, right? All those things we have faith in. Sitting in a
We have
chair,
faith sitting in these chairs right
in
now.
the chairs, right? That the chair is going to hold us, right? That's just, right? Just, but when God says, I got you, go do this, and I got you. We're like, we got more faith in the chairs we're sitting in.
Right.
And we're like, God, can you confirm with 17 and a half confirmations that you got me and you sure this is your instruction? Because you know I need to see it
Mhm.
in purple cursive crayon on the walls,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, all God asks of us, it's not even like he's asking us to have a monumental amount of faith. It's like mustard seed faith,
But let me
right?
say this, right? Everything to God, what he indicates as small is not always small. So if we put it in perspective, mustard seeds are tiny,
They
right?
are.
But to God, is it really tiny? Just like time, right? When we think about when God says, right, a day or a moment for us is lifetimes for him, right? So when we think about this,
Mhm.
maybe the mustard seed that we see, right, and the reality of what the time and the size and the weight of what a mustard seed really is may not always equate. But no matter what it is, we just got to do it.
Yeah. I just love that he says that this is all he needs to work with. Like,
Right.
we don't need to come perfected in our faith because he already knows that we're not, right?
Right.
He's like, this is all I need to work with. This is all I need for you to get started. We're going to grow in this thing so that hopefully you're not always coming to him with mustard seed faith, right? At some point, maybe it gets to a sunflower seed, then
Honey.
maybe to a corn kernel. We're going to build up on the seeds, up to the watermelon seed, right?
I don't know. Sometimes it might be just 3 or 4 seeds together. It just might be 3 or 4 mustard seeds at some junctures of our lives where we're
Yeah.
just like, okay, well, we've mastered one seed. Now here's the second.
Yes. And I love that Yvonne said sometimes faith and wisdom seem to butt heads. That's so
Don't
true.
they?
And
Don't
we
they?
talked about that in that episode. We talked about
Mm.
that. And we talked about the beauty in this season of if God is calling you to something that just seems, it just scares you,
Right.
pick yourself a faith accountability partner. That's what we talked about in that episode.
Ooh, community is so important. Tania and I are each other's community when it comes to, okay, this is what God has said. And I call her on the quickness and she'll call me on the quickness. And it's just like, okay, this is what we're dealing with today. Because again, this thing is a moment by moment. And to just have someone be able to just walk with you, take a pause. Okay, let's pray. Calm down. First of all, calm down. Let's pray. It's real.
Right.
And where we are right now, what is God saying? And okay, well, what have you done? Okay,
Yeah.
nothing. Okay, well then let's figure that out, right? So you need community for sure. Find, if not one, if you can't find a couple of people, one person is
One.
Yeah.
One is sincerely all you need. More
Yeah.
than one is a blessing on blessing. But
That's the truth.
if you can get that one on the other side of the seesaw with you, and we're not going to talk about that. You need to go check that out in the episode because we talked about the seesaw.
Yes.
We talked about that.
We're out anchored in the deep. Yes. If you haven't seen the Anchored series from Transformation Church and Pastor Michael Todd, shout out to him. Please go watch the Anchored series. Anchored is the word of the year. And honey, we are out here in the deep where we don't see the shore and all we have is God's word, right?
Right.
And we are staying afloat
and a paddle.
with his right?
That's it.
Anchored to each other. That's it.
Truly, truly. So with that same faith episode, real quick, we talked about even the enemies of our faith, right? The things that can rob us of our faith. So you got that, you got that fear, you got that hesitation sometimes, and you have that unbelief, and even that unworthiness. Those things, those are real time faith killers, right? Real time faith killers.
Fear, hesitation, unbelief, and unworthiness. Wow.
Those are just a few. There's more, but those are just a few.
You want to speak to any of those?
We don't have enough time.
Oh, we might. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So dope. That fear is crippling. Fear is debilitating. Fear will have you sitting, rocking in a corner, questioning every single thing God has ever told you, everything he's ever placed on your heart, every purpose and every dream he's ever put inside of you. It'll have you questioning everything, and can't do fear. You can't have fear and faith at the same time, right? And there is that scripture, right, of God, I believe, help my unbelief. Yeah, but he still believed. He still had a measure of faith, right? So do it afraid, start out afraid, but don't stay in that fear. Don't stay in that fear. Because at some point we have to own God equipped me for what he's telling me to do. He equipped me for it. I'm not going to believe the lie. I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to be worried because he already equipped me for everything he told me I should be doing. That's all I'll say to that. So
let me tell you, and let's talk about hesitation, because just like I posted yesterday, the hesitation, the procrastination, the delay, the whatever you want to call it, but you didn't move quickly, whatever word you want to put in that place, right? Let's
Mm,
talk about that, because if God has asked us to do something, he didn't ask you to do it next week unless that was his instruction. Typically,
right,
when he gives the instruction, he is asking for an immediate action. And so that's something we have to work on, all of us, is our hesitation, our resistance, our delay, all of those words that just mean the opposite of swift, right?
right. And all of those enemies are stopping somebody else from receiving the blessing that you're supposed to be.
Mm. Let's talk about that
There's
domino effect, because faith
there's
and
that.
obedience and the domino effect, right? Of, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Because you do know that it's impacting other people. There is a ripple effect, whether it's
Some,
for obedience or
yeah,
in your disobedience. There's also a ripple effect.
right, right. It's the reality that, okay, God put the gift in me. He put this idea in me because somebody is praying for that idea to be brought to them,
Come on.
right? For that skill, for that dream, that goal, whatever it is. And so if I'm sitting over here praying and believing for that thing that God has put in you and
Mhm.
you're holding up my blessing,
Come on.
yeah, I'll just leave that right there. We're just going to put that out there. We're just going to put out there and leave it right there. That hesitation, that fear, unbelief, unworthiness.
Mm.
Yeah, you are
Not having
worthy.
the faith. Yeah, not having the faith because you don't feel you're worthy, right?
Hmm. Hmm. God doesn't waste his time. He doesn't waste his time. If he asked you to do something, he already knows what the outcome's going to be.
It's the truth. It's
He
the
already
truth.
knows how long it's going to take you to. He already knows how long it's going to take you to say yes.
Mm, mm, mm.
There's that. So, yeah, that was episode 4. Woo,
Yeah,
on faith.
it was heavy. It was heavy.
It was so good though. It was so good. It was good, y'all. Check it out if you haven't had the chance. Check out episode 4. So episode 5, when we kept it a little bit lighter, because after faith, we were like, ooh, okay, we need a moment.
One of my favorites was all things fun, right?
Yes.
And humor. If you all are not aware, we get the humor from our fathers. So we are always finding, a silver lining to any situation possible. So talking about fun, the things that we like to do for fun. We talked about that in the
Yes.
episode, and I think some of those answers will surprise you. So check that out as well. Some of the things we like to do for fun.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. It was just good. We talked about the importance of just laughing in the day,
yeah.
the importance of just laughter, period, right? Laughter is like medicine. Laughter is truly good for our body.
Hmm.
It relieves stress. You know, have you laughed today? Have you taken the time to actually laugh, even if it's at yourself?
Right.
Sometimes we have to laugh at ourselves. Have you even taken the time to just laugh today and smile? You
Mhm.
know, so if you're not doing that, that episode, we were just encouraging everyone to take the time in the day, even if you have to block 5 minutes on your calendar every day just to go on Instagram, find a comedian, tons of stuff on YouTube. Obviously, there's Netflix and everywhere else. It doesn't take much and it's not hard to search. There is laughter
Mhm.
being posted and being talked about all day, every day.
Yeah, the benefits of laughter were also shared in that episode. And Tania, you did a
Mhm.
good job finding a great scripture translation that talks about how even the laughter, not only just being a medicine, but even counteracting depression, right? And just the things that weigh you down. So definitely that episode is going to be great if you need some laughter in your life, but also know some people who could possibly, experience some joy. share it with them. It will bless them. It was a great episode, fun, funny. We talked about the games that we love to play and the things that we like to do, entertainment, and of course, spades came up in the recap, and some of the other card games. So
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're not familiar with the game of spades, then we apologize in advance when you go to watch that episode.
Okay.
But it's it's a real thing. It can be, can break up families, can break up friendships if you're not
Mm,
careful.
mm.
so so yeah, we shared some of what we thought were one or two of our funniest moments, just in life,
Right.
that here we are years later still laughing about it. So definitely go over there, check that out. Post your funniest moment or something that just made you laugh that day or today in the comments. Let us know. We'd love to hear about it. So then we got to last week.
Whew.
Last week, y'all,
Wow. It was
that was a
amazing.
fire episode. Well, every episode is fire, but last week was on freedom,
Mm, 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 mm.
right? And that translation of that scripture of who the sun sets free is unquestionably free. So
Oh, yeah.
on our recap, freedom. Do you have it? Do you need it? Do you want it? And most importantly, are you sharing it with somebody else?
Mm, mm, mm.
Where do you stand on that freedom?
Mm.
Right?
I'm giving the grandma rock. You giving the grandma rock on that. Last week's episode, I'm speechless. That does not come often.
No, it actually doesn't.
Does not.
Right?
Last week's episode on freedom. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Just
Yes.
again, as we said at the beginning of the show, how it even manifested, switching topics, switching and obtaining a guest who Kim Dennis was amazing. Um, oh my goodness. Please go back and watch that episode. If you get nothing else out of tonight, go back and watch episode 6. It is wow. Wow. Freedom, and not only the impact of freedom in your life, but when you are free, the impact of people around you. And the old, saying, they would always say, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
I will tell you that free people free other people. We're not even talking about, from a Harriet Tubman reference. We're talking about in life in general, right? Just when you are free, you free people around you. But we also, on the contrary, when you are bound, typically people around you are bound. And so last week's was amazing, amazing, amazing.
Yeah. And to add to that, dare I say, it's also who you attract, right?
Because that's the energy that you're dealing with. Again, if you
It
are
is.
free, you're going to be, attracting people who are free. And
Mhm.
if you're not, then again, the people that you're attracting to your life are the people who very often are dealing with the same things that are keeping you in bondage, um, are keeping them in bondage, right? So you can, whether it's the old things that people used to say back in the day when they would label them, right? Whether it's those traditional things or whether it's just something that you're not fully free from, but you're dealing with, right? Whatever
Right.
it is, that's between you and God. That ain't got anything to do with us. But what we want to do is encourage you, giving you tools and resources to be able to let you know that you're supported here. And if there's anything that you are struggling with, or as we mentioned last week, that you might not even know about.
Right.
Talk about that, Nia, because there's things that people can identify and say, hey, this is something that they're struggling with, and they can identify, they can put a name on it.
Hmm. Yeah.
There's other
And
times when,
And
You're
sometimes it's
oblivious.
not just a whatever, sometimes it's a whoever
Come
too.
on. Come on. Talk
So,
about them soul ties, girl.
oh,
Come on.
yeah, those ungodly soul ties, right?
Ooh.
So, who have you attached yourself to,
Mm,
even spiritually, that you're not even aware that you're
mm.
still dragging them behind you, right? God's trying to take you to a place in your life, and you're like, I wonder why I just can't get past this point in my life. I can't seem to get past. Well, when's the last time you've looked behind you to see who is attached to you
Or around you, not just,
or around you?
as they
Right.
say, right? You're going as far as the 5 people that
Past,
you
past
surround
and
yourself.
present, past
Oh, yes.
and present,
So
the
look
past
around you.
and the present, right?
Hmm.
And so you do not want, and you can't take everybody with you in every season.
Nor
And
do you
so
want.
with those, what you say?
Nor do you want to. You
Nope,
definitely do not want to.
no. And so with those ungodly soul ties, right, you can be free from those, from people that have either tried to control your will, tried to control your emotions. A lot of times that's in abusive relationships of any kind, right? Not just marriage, of any kind, right? And so, yeah, it's about not carrying that baggage, not keeping it on you, but releasing it so that you can be free and you setting that person free too, right? You're releasing that person to God and getting some freedom for yourself at the same time. So, yeah, that's on the ungodly soul ties. Whew,
Girl,
yeah, check out. We don't even have the time to go into all the freedom in this recap. Check out episode 6, y'all. Check out episode 6. We had our first special guest on there, the amazing Kim Dennis, and she was fire, y'all. She
yeah.
was fire. It is freedom is actually one of her lanes. So when you want to talk about Kim,
Oh my goodness. So Kim Dennis was amazing last week. She is with Be Courageous, is the name of her business. She's a speaker and a coach, and we've already put in the comments the URL to her particular website. She will be starting next month. She's going to be one of the key speakers in a Freedom Masterclass event. Super excited for Kim. So it'll be multiple weeks in a row that she's going to be doing that from May through June. Please visit her website, get those details on the event. It's going to be amazing. And as Tania has said, areas where you may not even know. Again, it could be something that's family history, things that have been passed down that you're not aware of, things that your family members have experienced that you may
yeah,
not have even personally partaked in. But it's still keeping you in a form of limitation where you are not able to get past it, right? So when we look at generational cycles, generational patterns, and we see
yeah,
that, if there might have been pregnancy, multiple years, multiple generations, same time frame, right? That's definitely something that's got that family bound. If you look at, well, every family member in every generation is living from paycheck to paycheck or hand to mouth. That's something that's got that family bound, right? So it may not be,
yeah,
sex, drugs, and alcohol. It could be
right,
literally whatever is not allowing you to live your best life that God has called you to live, whatever it is. You want to just pause and just ask God to show you what is it that's limiting you from living the best life He has for you. And He definitely will give you that answer when you get quiet and you ask.
yeah. Yeah. So before you take the time to get quiet, go back over to our Facebook page, click on that episode 6, just so that you can gain some beautiful godly wisdom and knowledge on what God intended freedom to look like in our lives, right? And then definitely take some time after you're done watching that to get quiet with God. So, that that was our recap of
Mhm.
the last 6 episodes. So good. This has been so good. Thank you guys so much for journeying with us and for staying with us. And so let's talk about just our favorite moments from the last 6 episodes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Our favorite moments from the last 6 episodes. Well, I will say if I had to choose a favorite show for me, it would probably be a three-way tie, and it would be Freedom from last week with the seriousness and the weight of that. And then my two favorite on top of that were a little lighthearted would be Food and Fun. So those are my favorites over the last 6 episodes.
Mm, yeah, mine would definitely be Faith and Freedom
Mhm.
in the top two, and then running a close, I mean, a close third would definitely have to be, I would say, food, because we gave each other such a hard time about
Mm,
the foods that we like and dislike.
yeah.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, I dislike more foods than Win does.
Oh,
Um,
by far, by far. She's a vegetarian that doesn't eat vegetables. Just so you know.
so not true.
She's just what we call it. She's what you call a Tarian, but the veggie is not on the front of it. Just a Tarian. Just
So not true, guys. So definitely faith, freedom, and then the food. Yeah, those were great episodes. Um, so just beautifully and divinely
right.
put together. Yeah, it's even hard to put it into words, which is difficult being live, but it's like, yeah, yeah, faith, freedom, and food. Hmm.
We'd love to hear from the audience. And if you're watching it live or even on the rebroadcast, what were your favorites over the last 6 episodes? Tell us if you had one in particular. Our feelings are not hurt. Trust me. Pick one. Let us know if you have a tie, like we all do. Then tell us what your tie was. Let us know in the comments what your favorite episode is, and if there's something that we haven't covered and you want covered that wasn't in the first six, let us know because we're planning out the next shows coming up and we'd love to be able to touch on it.
Yeah, yeah, so good. So I got questions this week.
Help us, Lord, with these I got questions. Oh my goodness.
So if you're watching us for the first time, this is just a moment. This is just a moment in our show where, yeah, we just put the question out there. Sometimes it has an answer. Other times, and most of the time, not so much. And occasionally, sometimes, even that question is slightly rhetorical in our sarcasm. So,
Slightly.
so I got question for today.
Oh,
Why? Why do people always need to know what I'm doing with my body?
girl. And that's girl with GURL. That's how we say it on the show. Again, deep breath.
And even with the vaccinations, right? Everybody asking the question, did you get vaccinated? Are you vaccinated? It's like,
Right, like this is a team effort or a community contribution. They always want to. What is that about? I don't know, but I'd like to have a public service announcement. When we are our bodies, right? It's between us and God. If you are not one of those people, then your opinion, um, what you plan to do, all of those things, God bless you, but they don't matter. Okay, so just trying to be as nice as I can. Why do people ask, right? Anything that you're doing with your particular body when they have questions, whether it's them not assured within themselves about their own decisions about their body,
Mm-hmm.
and they feel that if I can get an opinion of someone else, that maybe that will sway, their decision, or maybe, they don't want to feel like they're alone in what they're doing. But nonetheless, please know that our bodies are our individual bodies in our own individual temples, and we are to manage them accordingly. So, what you do and what I do with our individual bodies as we manage them, temples accordingly. Yeah, people
Yeah,
stop asking us. Stop
because
asking us the question.
there's always, that question of, hey, are you losing weight?
Yes.
Hey, you looking a little thin. Did you lose some weight? You
You
know,
know how often I heard uh, over my 160-pound journey of hearing, how much more weight are you going to lose, right? What size are you? And I'm still a work in progress for y'all that don't know me. So I would try my best to give the most gracious answer that I could at the time. But I just tell you, there would be some times when I would want to say, "Whew, you know, what size are you? Right? What does it matter? Right? Is
right.
is my weight loss your weight gain?" That's what I wanted to say, right? But I didn't. I didn't. I did not. I did not. I did not. But one of these days, you might catch me,
Now
as
that
they
is
say,
growth.
as they
That is
say,
growth.
Jesus,
That
they
is
said
growth in
Jesus,
God.
what they
That's
say,
growth in
Jesus is
God.
our medicine, and you want me on my medicine. So one of these days, you might catch me in between doses, So please know, forgive my heart in advance. If you ask me anything else about my weight loss journey, and you ask me what size am I, and you just throw out some random numbers, I might ask you what size are you, and throw out some random numbers. And please govern yourselves accordingly to know all I did was just recite the question back to you. Okay?
I
That's
feel
all.
I feel like, everybody needs to go back to what our mothers used to say, which is if you don't have anything nice to say, then you're not
I'm just,
supposed to say
and they may not
it.
feel that it's not a
Keep it
nice
to yourself.
question. I think that a lot of people they feel more liberty. I feel more now than ever. Back in the day, if you were a senior citizen or elderly, let's just call it that, if you were elderly, if you were seasoned, you
Right.
could say some things. You could ask some questions, right? And we passed it off as, well, it's so and so, right?
Yeah.
Now, now, you fresh out of the womb asking questions that just might get you an answer that you don't want to hear. So
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That
I got questions today, and you can definitely put your comments in the comment section. Is why do people always feel the need to question with what you're doing with your body, no matter if it's the vaccination, weight loss, weight gain, abortion, anything, any of these topics,
mm,
anything that has something to do with your individual body, right? Let me feel the need to question your choices with your body, right? Let me ask some questions. So,
no. No. Because the only person any of us have all of us have to answer to is God Himself. Right? That's it.
there you go.
Father,
There's that.
Father, Son, and Holy Ghost or Holy Spirit, depending on where you go to church. That's
And
it.
that'll be in an upcoming episode. We haven't covered that yet, but we do break that down. That just saying.
That's it. That's it. We're not saying anything one way or the other on this show.
Yes,
All we're saying is it's always between just you and God. That's it. You know?
yes, yes. So if
That's it.
you are out and about and you want to know, are your family and friends, coworkers, or random strangers on the street, or even vaccinated, right? That's always the question now when people gather is, did you get your shot? You
Right.
know,
Right.
you should hear the conversation. Did you get your shot? Oh my goodness. And if you respond with anything other than the word yes, right? then you're getting a series of questions. And then for those who might say
Yeah.
yes, then
Yeah.
they're saying, well, did you get sick? How did you feel? Right? Like it's a conversation starter now.
And which shot did you get? Like, which one did you get?
What was your brand? Who was the manufacturer? Right?
Right. So,
When did
oh,
vaccinations become conversation
oh
starters?
my
I
God.
don't know, but this is where we are in
That's
2021.
what we do when we're pandemicking. The
Right.
vaccine is the top conversation. It's like, hey, you
Yes.
vaccinated? Can I take my mask off around you? No,
No, no, you
no,
can't.
no, you can't.
So you
You
could have
still
got 4 or 5 shots. It don't matter. Keep the mask on. Okay.
please,
Keep
please, please.
yes. Yeah, and whatever you choose to do with your body, whether you go back and you get a third or fourth dose, it is your prerogative. Please know that. Okay.
For real.
Not feeling the need to be obligated to tell people your business because it's unnecessary. It's
Mm-mm.
unnecessary. As adults who pay your own bills, please stop it.
Right. And there's your freedom reminder for the day.
You are free.
You are free. You don't owe anybody an answer for anything but God Himself. That is it.
The
That's it.
explanations have to stop. What David used to say back in the day, no is a complete sentence. Okay?
Yes, it is.
Be free
Yes,
to
it
know
is.
that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not obligated to share your personal preferences or what you're dealing with within your body with anybody else. So please do.
No, it takes a period. Doesn't even need a comma.
No. Right.
Doesn't even need a comma after it because that comma opens the door to explanation. It's like, no,
Mm.
no.
Mm-mm.
Did you get the vaccine? No.
Right.
Did you lose some weight? No.
Just period. Just period. One flat answer. Just
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
mm-mm.
yeah. There's some words of wisdom for today. If you never heard, no is a complete answer. Yeah. That's all.
100%. It is a complete sentence. 100. Grammatically, it suffices.
Oh my goodness. So we have come to the point on the show every week where we just take some time to just share and want to hear from you on just maybe just one thing God has done for you this week. This is Testimony Tuesday time. And so you can post your testimony in the comments, doesn't matter how big or how small that testimony is. Everything God does is definitely worth celebrating, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So you can post that in the comments. And we'd love to just talk about it and share with everyone. So, and even if you're watching this on a rebroadcast, you can still post your testimony. We love to still celebrate God with you and celebrate God working in your life with you during this time. So, when you got a testimony for this week,
Honey, every day, all day, trying so
one.
hard down,
Is
right?
there one? Is there
She
one?
always limits me, y'all. You have to see how she is. I don't appreciate you being my testimony Tuesday manager. She is like one, par it down. Like she's minimizing my abundance of testimonies. Oh my gosh. What narrowing it down to one? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Oh, well, I thought I had one today was amazing during my work conference to get a shout out on
Mm,
my statewide work conference that my name had gone before. I didn't even know. They had even mentioned my name to leadership throughout the state of Maryland, right? And I was just like, who are they talking about? And that was just one of the testimonies is when they were asked the question, honey, of what are you doing about X, Y, and Z? And the answer was win in Maryland. And I was like, come on. When God allows us to
come
be the
on.
vessel as we are the answer to someone's hard questions, I
Yeah.
think we might be on the right path to me. I think we might be where we are meant to be.
There's that and the importance of that.
Because if I wasn't in obedience and where I was supposed to be,
Right.
well, then somebody else who is not even near where I am wouldn't be able to say she's doing a good work. Because why? I would be overdoing what I wasn't supposed to be doing, right? Come on,
Right.
mama. Come on.
Right.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
it's nothing like being where you're supposed to be so that when people are able to shout you out, they can do it genuinely knowing that you're doing a good work. So today, that was my testimony Tuesday of just being grateful to be not just recognized for what I do every day, which is the heart and soul that God has given me for the entrepreneurs in my ecosystem around me and for the state and for the country, but to just be able to just know that people appreciate it and that they can depend on me, and that, as God says, He puts you before great men,
That's
and your name is being mentioned in rooms that you haven't even stepped in and people you haven't even met. So,
right. Right. All going back to that obedience.
mm, mm,
Ooh,
mm,
that obedience at the end of the day.
mm, mm, mm.
That was a good testimony. That was really, really good. And I'm
And
proud of you. So proud of you. So excited.
keep me in your prayers that I stay in obedience so that people can rely on me and that domino effect. Because the minute I step out and do what I want to do, because it's comfortable, real talk,
Hmm.
then what does that do to the domino effect?
You and me both. You and me both. So my testimony from this week actually actually came into physical fruition just before we went live today. Was
Yeah,
that I got blessed to be able to officially file for my LLC,
so proud of you.
for Butterfly Faith. And so that will be publishing for my book. That will be speaking engagements as God wills, additional books in the future, and just everything else God is calling me to do with that. That I don't even think He's even shown me everything just yet. I really don't. But being able to be blessed, one, to have the provision to do it,
There's that.
to file for that, because it's not inexpensive. That's not $20. Being able to be blessed with the provision to be able to even file my LLC, um, and then just being able to actually formally be able to say my company is an LLC. This is no longer just a little sole proprietorship. This isn't a hobby. It's like, okay, God, you're taking this thing somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm just being obedient in this season to everything you're telling me to do. You're telling me it needs an LLC, then that's what we doing. We getting an LLC, and you provided for the LLC. You told me I needed one, and you provided for the LLC. So I bless God for that today. That was just joy to my soul
And it
today.
came back in rapidly, honey, rapidly.
Right. Right. Because that was like 2 business days.
Correct.
I was like,
Correct.
okay, okay,
It's
God, I see you.
look
I
at
see
this.
you showing off. I see you showing off in 48 hours.
Come on.
In
Today
40.
is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
Mhm.
He was like, yeah, I'm going to give it to you on Testimony Tuesday. That's what we're
Come
going to
on. You see
I'm
what he
gonna
do on Testimony Tuesdays?
I'm gonna
You
give it
see
to
what he
you.
doing? Yeah. Come on.
So,
You
like
good.
we said, you post your testimony, post what God is doing, right? There's power in our testimonies. Don't you sit on it. Don't you sit on it. If you got something that only God could have done for you,
Right.
tell it, because there's power in it. There's power in your testimony. Put it in the comments
Mm.
so that we can celebrate God with you either now or later. It
Right.
doesn't
Even
matter.
on the
We still want to
rebroadcast,
hear it.
put it in. We'll see it later. No problem.
We sure will. We sure will. We sure will. So,
And I want people to start giving Testimony Tuesdays because they woke up. Because I think people are looking at Testimony Tuesday at something that's so grand and
mm-mm.
monumental. But there are people who did not wake up, right?
Right.
Come
Right.
on. Old people used to say they woke up dead. Have you remember that saying? I never used to understand that back in the day. I'm like, how in the world? That's an oxymoron. But people
Right.
woke up. people did not make it today. Your testimony, if not anything, is that you are even alive to even watch this broadcast, whether it's live
So
or on a
true.
replay. That
So
within itself.
powerful. So true. There are millions of
Mm,
people today that stopped breathing in just this past year.
right. Moment by moment. And
And yet
just
here we all
break.
are, blessed to still be breathing, like you said,
Mhm.
right? Blessed to still be breathing. So, yeah, there is no such thing as a small testimony.
Oh,
No such thing.
thank you,
Any,
Mama.
yep, anything God is doing, anything God is doing is a blessing.
It's the truth.
Hmm.
It's the
Yeah,
truth. We need to definitely be mindful of that. Being mindful of our gratitude. You know, whether you do a nightly journal, I journal every night in my gratitude journal, just one page of the things that I'm grateful for
yeah,
that's happened that day.
yeah,
Whether you do that as a routine or a practice, or whether you just make time to write down the things you're grateful for in whatever fashion you do that. But giving gratitude is so key, and that energy brings more things to you to be grateful for. So,
very true, very true, and it's actually contagious, right? Because as
mhm.
we keep giving God thanks for what He's doing, right?
Right.
Even if we start off with the little things, it's like, oh yeah, God, then you did this. Oh, then I remember you did this. It's
Oh,
contagious, right?
yes.
And then the
Yes.
people around you will want to give God thanks, and they will want to testify, as the church folks used to say, right? And they gonna want to share in their goodness, right?
Ooh.
God's goodness in their lives every single day. So let's just make it a contagious thing. It's
Mm.
time out for the negative. There's enough negative being broadcast on the airwaves all day, every day, right?
Mm.
We can change the narrative. We can change the atmosphere. We can shift it for God's glory. We really can.
Right.
Gotta
And
be
if you
willing to
have
talk
people
about
around you that are negative and that are complainers, get around some people that love to celebrate, that love to be able to say, you know what? It doesn't matter how small it is. This
it.
was
Right.
yet a victory. Let us celebrate this. So, a time out for the criticism and the complaints. Let's get around and let's compliment and let's celebrate. And that's what it's about in this season is what can I do to edify you, right?
So
How
true.
can I help edify you?
Yeah. So good. So yeah, post your testimony in the comments.
Mhm.
Like we said, even if you're watching this on replay, it's never too late. It's never too late to thank God for what He's doing. Never, never too late. So, um, we next week. Ooh, next week when? Ooh, let's have our church announcements. Let's talk about what is to
Next.
come.
Ooh.
Next week's topic, y'all. We going in. We going in. We going in on foundation. Foundation. Word of the week is going to be foundation. Your purpose, right? Your purpose. What did God
Mm.
put in you? What's at your core? We're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it. And we won't be alone. We're excited to say we're going to have our second special guest next week.
So excited.
I call her a purpose midwife. She is a purpose midwife because God has given her the beautiful, beautiful lane of helping people birth their purpose, right? And so that is Yvonne Sanchez. She's going to be with us next week. We're excited. We have put her name and her website in the comments. Be sure to check her website out. And we'll be posting and letting everybody know throughout the week about next week's episode. But be sure you can go to her website and check her out. Check out the classes and the workshops that she offers, right? So you already be prepared next week when you join us. So this has been an amazing recap. Such good gumbo, girl. Good gumbo.
Absolutely. It was delicious. So I hope that it really blessed people to understand a little bit of what this show is about. Again, we're going to be mixing it up every single week. So, there might be times when we're talking about some pretty heavy topics, and there might be some times where, we're
Yeah.
here just laughing it up. And so I love that, that's the dynamic of us.
Yeah.
And that's how God made us, and that we're on this journey together to just really inspire people and to be real and relevant. So that we're
Yeah.
going to cover some topics that you're going to be able to relate to. And we always want your feedback. Put it in the comments or post it now or later, but we always want to hear from you.
Yeah, and sometimes, in all realness, you're gonna get the heavy and the funny all in one episode. Sometimes it's just gonna be combined. So be
Yes,
prepared for that too, because we love to laugh and cry at the same time. Sometimes that's just how God does things. So
it's the truth. It's the truth. There is a mix it up. So
yeah,
follow
so
us and make sure
share,
that you tune in. Yeah.
share those episodes. If there was one of these episodes where God was like, hey, there's somebody that I've put around you that needs to hear about freedom, right? Or there's somebody that needs a sweet reminder about finances, or even the faith one. Share it with them. We love to see a good share. Share it with them. That's
We
what we're
don't
here.
mind our episodes being the hands and feet, right? It might not be a conversation that you can have. No
Yeah,
problem. Share Tania and I. We will gladly communicate the message to your loved ones, friends, and family, or it just might be for you. So
yeah.
go back and rewatch those. I know sometimes I go back and rewatch them and I catch nuggets that I didn't even realize that we had said during the show.
Mhm.
So watching them more than once is phenomenal. But as Tania has shared, just definitely make sure that you tune in. You can set your reminders every week. We are Tuesdays at Eastern 6 time, 6 p.m. in Eastern, 5
Yeah.
p.m. Central. And just look for us, go to the show, set your reminder, and encourage your friends and family to tune
Yes. And like we said, next week is on foundation
in.
purpose. So
Yes.
y'all, ooh,
If you
yeah,
know someone in your life who they always say they don't know their purpose, or if it's you, or if it's a someone that's a young adult or even a teenager, this is something you want to tune in
yeah,
because all ages can benefit from next week's episode.
yeah. You are never ever too old to discover your purpose. Never too old. So this has been awesome. We will see y'all next week. And until then, keep listening.
Listen, take care.